Forbidden is the pursuit of land game as long as you are in the inviolable state of a Hajj or Umrah. Furthermore, when the Prophet was asked about the zebra that Abu Qatada had hunted down while he was not in the inviolable state, although the others were, he said, "Did any of you ask Abu Qatada to attack them, or did any of you point to them?" They said, "No." He then said, "Then eat." Eating any land game which one contributed to its hunting by pointing to it or assisting the hunter. This conclusion is understood by the hadith above, which states, "Did any of you ask Abu Qatada to attack them, or did any of you point to them?" They said, "No." He then said, "Then eat." Invalidators of the Hajj. The Hajj is invalidated by one of two matters: sexual intercourse, if it were done before the stoning at Al-Aqaba, if it were done after the stoning at Al-Aqaba, but before the Ifada circumambulation. It does not invalidate the Hajj, although the person has committed a sin. Some scholars, however, opine that sexual intercourse does not invalidate the Hajj whatsoever, as there is no explicit proof indicating such a position. Failing to perform one of the essential components of the Hajj. If a person's Hajj is invalidated by either of these two, it is obligatory upon him to perform the Hajj during the following year, if he has the ability to do so, according to what was defined earlier as having the means to do so. If he cannot perform it in the following year, he must perform it when he has the means to do so, as the obligation upon him is immediate whenever he has the means. Forbidden acts in the two sacred sanctuaries. In the two Sahihs and other works, it is narrated from Ubad ibn Tamim, from his uncle, that the Messenger of Allah said, "Truly Abraham made Mecca inviolable and prayed for it. I have made Medina inviolable as Ibrahim made Mecca inviolable." The inviolable status was due to revelation from Allah to his two prophets and messengers, blessings and peace of Allah be upon them. If someone says the two inviolable sanctuaries, it is in reference to Mecca and Medina. It is not permissible to use such term except in reference to those two places. It is not even permissible to call Al-Aqsa Mosque an inviolable sanctuary, or the Mosque of Ibrahim al-Khalil, as the revelation has not referred to any place as being inviolable except Mecca and Medina. Such an honor must be based on revelation, and there is no room for human reasoning on this issue. There are specific acts that are prohibited in the land of the two sacred sanctuaries for the residents of those lands, as well as for the visitor coming for Hajj, Umrah, and any other purpose. These acts are the following: hunting or pursuing land game or fowl, or helping one to do the same; uprooting or cutting its plants or shrubs, unless there is a need for necessity for that; carrying weapons, picking up of lost items by a pilgrim. The resident must pick up such lost items as long as he announces them. The difference between the pilgrim and the resident on this point is obvious. The evidence for the above lies in the statement of the Prophet on the day of the conquering of Mecca. Allah has made this city inviolable on the day He created the heavens and the earth. It is sacred by the declaration of Allah until the day of resurrection. It was not permissible for anyone to fight herein before me, and it was only permissible for me for a portion of the day. It is inviolable by the declaration of Allah until the day of resurrection. Therefore, its shrubs are not to be uprooted, its game is not to be chased, its lost items should not be picked up except by whoever announces it publicly, and its trees are not to be cut. O Messenger of Allah, except for al-idkhir, a type of grass, for it is used by the blacksmith and for the houses. So the Prophet said, except for al-idkhir, that he heard the Prophet say, it is not allowed for any of you to carry weapons in Mecca. Narrated that the Prophet said about Medina, its shrubs are not to be uprooted, its game is not to be chased, and its lost items are not to be picked up except by one who makes it known. It is also not proper for one to carry weapons for fighting therein, and it is not proper to cut down any of its trees unless it is man providing fodder for his camel.